Psychology of hidden motives. Did you know that most of your choices, desires and fears are guided by forces you're not even aware of? Hidden motives aren't lies, they are the shadows, contradictions and projections quietly shaping your life. The impulses you deny, the patterns you keep repeating, the emotions you project onto others, all of these reveal secrets about who you truly are. Your mind carries conflicting desires, fears and longings, influencing every decision silently. And the most shocking truth, these hidden motives leave traces in your daily life, in the behaviors and reactions you never fully understand. If you want to unlock the deepest secrets of your mind and see what's really driving you, watch this video till the end. Because knowing these hidden motives can change the way you see yourself forever. Psychology teaches us that much of what drives human behavior happens beneath the surface of awareness, in the shadowy depths of the unconscious mind. We like to believe that our choices, desires and actions flow from rational thought, from careful deliberation and conscious intention. Yet the startling truth is that what we see on the surface, the words we speak, the decisions we make, the masks we wear, is often only a fraction of the story. Hidden within the folds of memory, emotion and instinct are impulses so powerful that they can guide our lives without ever alerting the conscious mind. A person may insist they are acting out of kindness, but subtle feelings of guilt, fear or envy may secretly be pulling the strings. We may chase a goal, convinced it is our own ambition, while old wounds, unprocessed trauma, or deeply buried desires quietly shape the path we take. Even our relationships, friendships and work decisions carry the fingerprints of forces we cannot name. The most shocking part is that these hidden motives do not merely influence minor choices, they can determine major life directions, relationships and moral decisions. When we fail to recognize them, we become actors in a play written by forces we cannot see, constantly surprised by the outcomes of our own lives, wondering why we feel compelled to repeat patterns we vowed to escape. This realization shakes the very foundation of self-awareness and challenges the illusion of conscious control. Psychology reveals a truth most people refuse to face. Hidden motives often exist to protect the self, not to harm others. We like to think that our actions are transparent, that our intentions are pure and visible, yet the mind constantly shelters its deepest drives behind layers of rationalization, excuses, and polite facades. Every denial, every carefully crafted explanation, every "I didn't mean it" is often a defense mechanism, a way for the ego to shield itself from shame, fear, or exposure. A person may manipulate a situation, insisting it's for someone else's benefit, while the real motive lies in preserving self-image, avoiding judgment, or controlling vulnerability. Even lies of omission, the quietest and most insidious form of deception, often arise not from cruelty, but from a primal desire to protect the fragile territories of our psyche. The shocking reality is that the mind is willing to distort perception, reinterpret facts, and even convince itself of alternate narratives just to remain safe. This means that when someone appears kind, generous, or selfless, there may be currents beneath the surface steering their actions in directions unknown even to themselves. Every seemingly innocent choice, every small decision, may be the result of invisible defenses and subconscious calculations. Understanding this reveals that human behavior is rarely straightforward, and that the motives we project outward are only shadows of the deeper forces striving to preserve the self at all costs. Psychology exposes one of the most unsettling truths about human nature: our shadow traits, the parts of ourselves we deny, fear, or reject, wield more influence over our lives than we dare admit. We pride ourselves on rationality, morality, and self-control, yet lurking in the background are impulses and desires we refuse to acknowledge. Anger we suppress, envy we hide, or forbidden desires we ignore do not disappear, they operate quietly, shaping our decisions, reactions, and relationships without our conscious consent. The shocking part is that these traits often emerge in disguise, influencing behaviors we mistake for conscious choice. A kind word may be laced with unrecognized resentment. A seemingly generous act may carry a hidden need for validation. and a harsh criticism may mask a deep fear of inadequacy. We see ourselves as controlled and composed, yet these shadow traits pull strings behind the curtain, leading us to repeat patterns we hate or sabotage opportunities we crave. Even our self-image is constructed to keep these traits hidden, making their influence almost invisible until they erupt unexpectedly. The most disturbing realization is that no amount of rational thought or willpower can fully control these forces. They are part of the architecture of our psyche, waiting for moments of vulnerability to assert themselves, often in ways that leave us bewildered, ashamed, or questioning our own morality and intentions. Psychology uncovers a truth so unsettling that most people never notice it. Humans are masters of projection, constantly attributing their hidden thoughts, fears, and desires onto others without realizing it. We like to believe that our judgments, criticisms, and suspicions are objective, but often they are mirrors reflecting parts of ourselves we refuse to face. The most shocking reality is that the very qualities we accuse in others, anger, jealousy, deceit, or insecurity, may be the ones we harbor deep within our own minds. A subtle irritation at a friend's success may reveal our unacknowledged envy. A sudden distrust of a colleague may expose our own capacity for deception, and the harsh judgment we place on strangers may be a projection of fears we suppress. Projection acts like a psychological camouflage, allowing the mind to interact with uncomfortable truths indirectly, creating a world where blame and recognition are always external. This means that the people who trigger the strongest reactions in us are often the ones reflecting what we refuse to accept inside ourselves. Every argument, every misunderstanding, every intense emotion may not be caused solely by the other person's behavior, but by the hidden impulses, memories, or desires within our own psyche. Understanding this is shocking because it forces us to question the source of our emotions, revealing that much of what we perceive in the external world is really a map of our internal conflicts. Psychology reveals a startling truth. Human beings are rarely motivated by a single desire, and our contradictory motives often coexist, tearing us in opposing directions without our conscious awareness. We like to see ourselves as consistent and rational, yet inside, two or more conflicting desires can operate simultaneously, shaping our behavior in ways that appear confusing or even self-sabotaging. One part of us may crave freedom, while another clings desperately to security. One part may long for intimacy, while another recoils in fear of vulnerability, and one part may seek honesty, while another demands approval. The shocking reality is that these contradictions are not anomalies. They are fundamental to the human mind, creating tension and complexity that we navigate daily without fully understanding. Often, the more we attempt to act rationally or decisively, the more these hidden conflicts assert themselves through subtle choices, hesitations, or repeated patterns. Even when we pride ourselves on making conscious decisions, these underlying opposing motives are quietly guiding our actions, influencing our relationships, careers, and personal growth in ways that seem inexplicable. This duality explains why people repeat mistakes they promised never to make, why they chase goals they secretly fear, and why they oscillate between self-doubt and ambition. Recognizing these hidden contradictions is unsettling because it forces us to confront the reality that the human mind is a battleground of competing desires, and that true self-understanding requires facing the parts of ourselves we often wish did not exist. Psychology exposes a truth that most people refuse to face. Our true motives rarely hide in a single moment. They reveal themselves through patterns, repetition, and the invisible threads that weave through our daily lives. We like to believe that every decision is isolated, a product of conscious thought, yet the mind leaves clues, often subtle, that betray the hidden forces shaping us. The shocking reality is that what we repeat, the emotions that surface without warning, and the relational dynamics we continually attract are not random. They are fingerprints of our unconscious intentions. A person who constantly sabotages relationships may not realize that avoidance or fear of intimacy drives them, A professional who repeatedly fails to achieve goals may be unconsciously protecting themselves from exposure, and a friend who continually drifts away may be acting out unprocessed childhood patterns. These patterns, once recognized, act as mirrors reflecting the motives our conscious mind cannot or will not acknowledge. Even behaviors that seem trivial, a gesture, a tone of voice, a micro-expression, can accumulate over time to reveal what we truly seek or fear. The more we ignore these repetitions, the more our hidden motives silently control our decisions, creating cycles we cannot break. Recognizing these patterns is shocking because it forces us to confront the unsettling reality that the conscious narrative we tell ourselves is often only a thin veil over a deeper, persistent truth operating beneath the surface of awareness. To understand the hidden motives within ourselves is to step into the deepest chambers of the mind, to confront the shadows we often ignore, and to discover the forces quietly guiding our lives. The journey of self-awareness begins when we acknowledge what we usually keep hidden, and with each revelation, we become more conscious, more authentic, and more free. Thank you for watching this video. If you found these insights about the psychology of hidden motives eye-opening, make sure to share this video with your friends and loved ones, and subscribe to my channel for more videos exploring the mysteries of the human mind, behavior, and psychology. Stay curious and keep exploring the depths of your own psyche.